Alrighty, what is up guys? Welcome back. Aldo here. In this video I want to talk about give an urgent warning to kind of all altcoin holders. There's some rare bearish signs popping up on altcoins. Obviously nothing's ever 100%, but if history repeats here, similar to 2019, alts could kind of get demolished. I'm going to show you that just in a second. If you guys enjoy the content, smash the like button. Also, new partnership going on with FAIRDESK right now. Really good exchange. No VPN required. No KYC required. So check it out. You could get this FAIRDESK Soul Pass. It is a kind of an NFT. I already got mine. You need to trade, I believe, with 10,000 trading volume to be eligible. If you sign up to FAIRDESK with my link down below, you got a good shot of do those requirements. Check it out. Read more about it on the website. And then once you get that, there's also a giveaway of 10 lucky people will get 10 ETH. So register for that giveaway. You got a good shot here. PHEMEX has been around for a while. I've been using them on and off for years. A lot of people have really liked them. A lot of people have been asking me to do some type of partner with PHEMEX. So here it is. We're probably also going to get a trading competition going as well with people who sign up with my link. So check it out if you guys are interested. FAIRDESK, MEXC, also good as well. Check those out down below. Let's get into the main content here. So what are we looking at? We're looking at a blood diamond popping up on the weekly on Total 3. Total 3 is all the crypto market cap minus Bitcoin, minus Ethereum. These are the precious altcoins. These are the ones that are more risky, but historically have had bigger gains. So let's compare this. So the last time we had a blood diamond, I mean, this was not a fun, not a fun situation. We came down 66% here, 68% total now. I think it's going to be better than that. If it comes down that much, oh boy, like that's not, that's going to be an absolute nightmare. But what we can look at is we can compare it. See these RSIs here, similar to kind of this area. We could compare it to kind of that area where we topped out in July, August of 2019. We started to come down, and yeah, mid-July. Really, I think technically topped out at end of June. So we can compare it to kind of this area. I'm not going to count the pandemic right there, but that was a 54% drop down. So if we do something like that again, 54%, that would be around the $173 billion market cap. You do have a little bit, when you get down to those areas, you do have a little bit. See those wicks up, you do have a little bit of kind of support there. Until you get into real traffic, though, you come down to these low areas, but I don't think we could go that low. I'm bullish on crypto. I think we're going to see the next bull run. But for the short term, like what happened in 2019, what was interesting is ETH and a lot of the major altcoins, a lot of the ones that did good in the last bull run, they bottomed out against Bitcoin September of 2019 right there, September. So I think within the next couple months, we're going to see the main kind of, drop down for this kind of play out. Hopefully in September, October is where you really get to some of those lows, especially if Bitcoin comes back down to kind of that 20K area. Now, what I also want to show you is total 2. This is crypto, minus all the crypto market cap minus Bitcoin. And what I think could happen in here, we're kind of in a Wyckoff accumulation phase, where in a Wyckoff accumulation phase, you typically see kind of 3 bottoms. First here, second there. Maybe the third, we come a little bit lower. We come down, 30% potentially for total 2. Have this play out and see these RSIs when they come together October towards the end of the year. That could be a really, really, really good buying opportunity to potentially start getting into Ethereum, start getting into altcoins right there. So I think that's all we have to really worry about. I think it's going to be just a slower and less crazy version of this is what we will see. And it's similar, it's similar to what happened, kind of back here. Let's look at these RSIs, how high they were. You can kind of compare it to this trajectory downward. That was 50%. That was a lot. I don't even think we're going to go that low. That's kind of like, yeah, I don't think we're going to go that low. That's going to be an absolute nightmare for total 2. I think you could come down, 30%, maybe make a bit of a lower low here, potentially for total 2. I do think that Bitcoin is probably bottomed out here. I don't even think Bitcoin will likely go below 20K. I think we're just going to test, a 300 weekly moving average potentially. For Bitcoin, as you can we zoom out here a little bit on my prediction correction to 300 weekly moving average, that's at maybe that'll be 22, 21 when we do hit it, based on what I think could potentially happen. But you got to realize, altcoins could bleed a lot against Bitcoin. While that does happen, similar to what happened in 2019. Now, look at June of 2019. Look at this trajectory downward for Ethereum versus Bitcoin. That was 47% down. Now, if we draw it out from maybe this high here, right, that 47% down, into that same trajectory, you know, in the next few months potentially. That last drop down was catastrophic. Let's look at that. That last drop down was quick. Now, if we do it, maybe do it from there, that's in October when potentially Ethereum bottoms out against Bitcoin. This was, you know, the first beginning of September. You know, it could be quick. It could be, you know, quick. If we do see that real scare, if we do see Bitcoin come down to those low 20s in the next few months, that could be that kind of quick scare. So that's why right now, you know, Bitcoin seems to be kind of the best thing right now for crypto, as it historically has been. And also, you know, right here, based on this weekly, the weekly is now in the, well, what I think is going to happen. See how it's in the green right here? I think it's going to come back into the red. So I have a lot of Bitcoin. I'm personally just stopped DCAing, started to kind of stack cash a little bit here. If you're light, it may not be the best, you know, choice. I don't know. This isn't financial advice, obviously, but if you're light, it may be a good idea just to DCA through this. But I'm taking a little bit of time off again. I have a lot of Bitcoin. You know, I'm doing pretty well with my Bitcoin, so I'm happy with, you know, kind of stacking some cash. Especially, I'm excited to get bigger positions in Ethereum and some of these altcoins, you know, kind of going forward. Now, on the bright side here, on the bright side with all of this, what I think could potentially happen is a lot of the altcoins that survive, which I do think Solana will survive, I do think Cardano will survive most likely. A lot of the altcoins that don't go to zero, the worst thing I think happening is potentially a 50% drop down from where we are right now. So that would be potentially $11 Solana, $11, $12, or $10 Solana, around a 50% drop down. That would bring you 50% down to around a 14-cent Cardano. Big historical area, big historical support area right there. And it would also be, you know, a better drop down than this. This was 98.6% drop down. This would only be, if you came down to these levels, 95, you know, percent drop down if we do come down to these levels. Look at these RSIs again. When these kind of come together, we haven't seen them really come together. We saw them come together a little bit, you know, over here, then we started gapping apart. But when we really see them coming together, that's what I'm really looking at to potentially start DCAing in to Cardano. Same thing is that maybe the next green dot on this 2 week, as this money flow starts to kind of come up, say September, October, that's what it's all pointing to, you know, kind of at least a month away here, it seems like. That's the time to start DCAing into Cardano. And if we just look at this previous kind of really good DCA period, this is where I believe, let's just look at Cardano Bitcoin here. Let's go to Cardano Bitcoin. Look at where Cardano bottomed out against Bitcoin. This was, you know, around August of 2019. And this was really the sweet spot, you know, August of 2019, April 2020, that 8-month, kind of 8-9 month period. If we do start that, you know, come September, come October, that period right here. Now, I don't know. This could be bottomed out against Bitcoin. Maybe it'll go down to these lows. Who knows? But that's going to be, and I think they will. I mean, some of these could have bottomed out against Bitcoin. Or, excuse me, I just wanted to say, I think this could go lower. This could bleed against Bitcoin quite a bit more, especially as total 3 comes down more. That's 34% down, another 34%, you know, correction. If you start DCing in, you know, October, somewhere like that, into maybe even into June of 2024, you got some time. I would probably stop pre-halvening, but that kind of area to DCA in, that sweet spot, that's what's going to be really good for next bull run. If we could do, maybe we could do something like that, you know, against Bitcoin, come back up to that area, 500%, outperform it by 500%, less than down here where you outperformed it, you know, double as much. Maybe you outperform it half as much, 500, 600%. That could be a good trajectory. Now, obviously, you know, if something is only, especially if an altcoin, if it's only going to dump another 50% downward, that's not the worst for crypto. You know, we've seen big drops down. You know, that's not, you know, Solana from the whole thing down. I mean, if you're really trigger happy, it's not the worst possible place to start getting into alts, but just the way I'm doing it, I think, you know, that September is really the place to look. That September, October, when we do kind of come down a bit more. And also what I'm really looking for here is potentially, you know, Bitcoin dominance to get up to those mid 50s. That's what I'm really looking for start converting some of my Bitcoin over into Ethereum and altcoins when that does happen. Ethereum, I think, is really the blue chip out of the altcoins there. Ethereum is what I want my, you know, portfolio to have a big percentage of. And look, trigger wave right there, up 10%. I think you could repeat something like this into September. I think it may take longer this time, September, October, to get to that area, but that's going to be potentially the huge area. And kind of on the longer term for Ethereum, what I think could happen, that's the Wyckoff accumulation. One bottom, two bottoms, maybe a third one at the same place, 1200 or something. So if a lot of these alts dump down, let's say, 40 or 50%, I think Ethereum could come down like, 30 to 40%, something of that nature. And then what would Bitcoin do in that situation? Let's look at what Bitcoin could potentially do in that situation. Bitcoin could come down 25% and you might be fine. Bitcoin is very, very resilient. Bitcoin, I think, is going to be really resilient, especially in, an environment like this where the main hedge against inflation, institutional interest, I think Bitcoin is going to obviously hold up the best. But when you get down to those areas, you get down to the low 20s for Bitcoin again, I think that's going to be the prime area to get into altcoins, where altcoins will bottom out against Ethereum and potentially get those really, 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 really big gains that we're all kind of, we're all hoping for, we're all been waiting for since, we've all been really waiting for that again since November of 21. It's been a while. It's about to be 2 years, so it's a patience game, that 4-year cycle. But I think we're almost getting into that place to start getting into kind of altcoins here. The other thing too that we want to kind of look at, let's look at a little bit more of the short term, what could happen here. And this has been a very, kind of apathetic, very boring market. People aren't tuning in as much, but look at what's happening with the Bitcoin here now. We're testing the spiral line pocket again. Does Bitcoin want to keep this as resistance or to flip it into support? That's the big question right here. Now, if we look at the macro, with all these yellow X's popping up, 20-hour, 16-hour confirmed, my guess here is that money flow wants to come deeper at that 20-hour, and that we could potentially, go deeper here. If you guys are interested in some of the traded setups, check out the Aldo Empire VIP Discord. Me and 2 other pro analysts have been killing it. CBZ and Lanacore have been really killing it in there. So check that out. Link down below if you guys are interested. And by the way, guys, I will be giving you guys, if you want a free month in the Aldo Empire VIP Discord, if you sign up to PHEMEX or FAIRDESK with my link and deposit at least $200, I'll give you 1 free month. Open a ticket in the Discord and put in your UID once you do that, and we will give you a free month. So check that out if you guys are interested. A lot of people have liked the Discord. So yeah, I mean, we got to jump up off of this volume area high, huge place. Price loves to jump off of this place. When I look at the macro here, I get a bit more bearish, but I do think, right now we are hitting, look at that support resistance. Does it want to change that into support? Tough to say. We're hitting some traffic. That 1 minute's coming down a little bit tough to say. Kind of the swing shorts have been giving us the best kind of outcomes here. But if it's like this guy, see, you came into the green right here, right down, came into the green again, right down. If it's like that, then you could kind of turn down a bit more here. We've been sideways for a while here. We're going to break up or break downward with the higher time frames, especially when you look at 3 weeks, about to give you a red dot here, even on regular, okay, not yet on regular candles, but the 2-week red dot in those places, I think that's going to bring you that trajectory kind of downward to make a higher low here. So yeah, that's what I'm potentially looking at. Let's look at Ethereum. And so Ethereum has continued to kind of bleed against Bitcoin, because Ethereum, we made that lower low. This was the place that, Bitcoin kept bouncing off of. This was the place that Bitcoin kept bouncing off of, this low right here. And then Bitcoin bounced off of this low again. This is the general area, but Ethereum bled. Ethereum is bleeding against it, quite a bit. See, that's that 1%, bled against it 1%. Came back up to it. Now we're retesting kind of that point. It looks like price, this could be a potentially good short on Ethereum. It does look like price wants to reject off of it again. It looks like price wants to reject off of it and potentially come down a bit lower. We hit our technical target from breaking out of this newer volume fixed range volume area right there. Hit that area, but now do we reject and keep going down farther? My guess potentially could be yes with the yellow X on the 20-hour. That could be kind of the drop downward that kind of brings us downward. And the trajectory downward, like I said, on the high time frame, I think you could get in, potentially, hopefully quicker rather than later. You could get into September, October, hit that like 1200 kind of range there. And then on the bright side after that, you're kind of home free. So the good, the silver lining of this, the good part of this is that I don't really, worst case scenario, I'm viewing maybe a double bottom, kind of worst case scenario, but most likely 30 to 40% down for Ethereum, and most likely for the altcoins that do survive, the ones that do survive, you know, 50% down. And what I want to look at real quick, this is another one. Shout out to AJ Writes Crypto. He likes this one. This one is another one, QNT, that's got some good fundamentals. I'm thinking worst case scenario, you just come down to like $50 again and then survive and then come back up. But obviously, any of these altcoins can be risky. Never put all of your eggs in one basket. But that's what I'm potentially looking at for a lot of these worst case scenario, kind of 50% down. Matic is another good example of that potentially, you know, with that yellow X in the weekly, not a good sign. But silver lining here, triple bottom, 50% down, 30 cents. That's kind of the worst case scenario that I'm seeing happening, unless it somehow goes to zero. I don't think Matic's going to go to zero. I think that's pretty unlikely. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I got to say. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Last thing I want to tell you about, I do have a trading course. If you guys are interested in that, we're doing discount added 2 new lessons in there. A lot of people have really liked it, so check that out. Check out PHEMEX and FAIRDESK down below if you're an experienced trader. And also check out the Aldo Empire Discord down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have a good one. Bye.